And this next little portion here at 2 a.m., 2 p.m. is going to be just a chance to introduce the staff, because we've had the good fortune to be able to grow a little bit. And for any new people who are joining us today and who may not even know some of our older faces, this is just a good chance for us to introduce ourselves and say hello, so that you can, since we can't, give you an in-person hug, but we can at least say hi and tell you what we do. So I'm gonna start the ball rolling by introducing myself and tell you a couple things about myself, and then I'll pass the baton. I think then we're gonna go alphabetically. So I'm going to be passing it to Ashley, but I just thought I would start. And I'm Denise Miller. Hello to any of you who I don't know, and hi again to old friends. I'm the executive director of the association. I have been with the NMFMA for 16 years. Part of me feels like that can't be so, but it is so, because I know my kids have gotten older. As the executive director, I'm in charge of the daily operations, really making sure there's money to pay for all of the good staff and to pay for the programs. And I keep my fingers in a lot of pots. And I work with a lot of partnerships and policy and marketing, a lot of the marketing activities. So a little bit of everything. I wear a lot of hats. My favorite thing about my job is definitely all of the people. I know it sounds so pat, but it's true. Everybody that I get to work with, and all of the really good food that I eat, because I'm always going to the farmers market. That's part of my job. I have to go to the farmers market. And the next thing I am supposed to tell you is something that might surprise you, I think, or something like that. Or something, I don't remember, a fun fact. Maybe it's a fun fact. A fun fact is that I guess I love music, and I have I don't play music, but I come from Chicago, so I love the blues and all kinds of music, and I have a double jointed tongue. So that's about the most fun fact I have. I'm going to pass it to Ashley. Thank you, everybody.
I've never heard of that, a double jointed tongue. Check that out. Hi, I'm Ashley Taylor. I'm the local food and farming program coordinator here at the NMFMA. And I started just over a year ago in January 2020, so just before the pandemic hit. So my first year here has mostly been consisting of navigating the scope of this brand new position that they made, but also figuring out how to adapt that to the new lifestyle that COVID has kind of thrown us into. So I currently manage the coordination of our tiered food safety trainings, right now online, but hopefully back to being in person and on the farm. Luckily, I got to attend a couple of those before everything shut down last March. And I also coordinate and assist with the maintenance and development of our partnership with the New Mexico Grown Approved Supplier Program, getting local farmers and local produce into schools, senior centers, and early childhood sites, as well as a bunch of other various behind the scenes like grant data maintenance and assistance and admin stuff. Mike Ventachinque likes to call me the Swiss Army knife, which I really enjoy as a nickname. But my favorite part of this job so far has been getting out to visit with local farmers and growers with either the trainings pre-COVID and going out for the COVID fund story interviews. So getting to get to know them and see their farms and their setups and seeing how they're being innovative and persevering has been really inspiring and educational. And I wouldn't say this is exactly a fun fact, but one interesting thing that has happened to me was getting bit by a bullet ant when I was living in Ecuador, which is like one of the top 5 worst insect bites in the world.
And you survived.
And I survived. Luckily, it was on my foot. And I was just down for the count for a little bit. But
lucky for us that you survived.
And with that, I will pass it on to Catherine Baca.
Hi, everybody. I'm Catherine Baca, better known as Cat. And 4 years ago, I went to the organic conference, met Denise, and told her I was looking for work. She called me the next week, hired me, and it was immediately conference organizing time. So this is my 4th anniversary for working with the New Mexico Farmers Marketing Association. It's a great organization. I'm constantly impressed with what they do. The staff is wonderful, and I'm just lucky to be part of it. Mainly, I was hired as the membership coordinator, and I just happened to be a conference coordinator as well, so I fell into that too. But luckily, this year we have all these great young people on staff who understand the virtual stuff, so they're doing a great job. Otherwise, I make sure your memberships are current, and then that evolves into other related tasks. And so I do a little bit of everything. The best part of my job, though, is that I've been able to meet most of you in person and visit with you once a year. And unfortunately, I'm sure missing that this year, and I hope to see all of you again soon and get to meet some of our new members. And it was fun, Denise, to see these people in the last session that we had. Hi, Piper, and everybody, Andrea, everybody. And I just want to thank all of you for everything you do. You're the best, and I wish you good luck with this season. Holler at me if you need anything from me. Bye. I'm not telling you anything fun about me, except that I am wearing beans and tortilla and chili earrings. They were made 30 years ago by a deaf biker dude. So it's a real little tortilla. Can you see a little biker dude making little teeny tiny tortillas?
That's pretty fun, Kat.
Is Elizabeth here? Elizabeth is actually one of our contractors, but she
What
is
happened to Christina?
Oh, or Christina, right? Going alphabetically. Thank you. Is Christina?
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm going to be quiet.
That's okay. I'm Christina Keebler, and I'm the engagement director with the New Mexico Farmers Marketing Association. I've been with the organization for 6 years, which is the longest, except for anyone but Denise and Sarah Grant. I do a variety of things with the organization, probably because I have been there for a while. One of my main jobs is to run all the research projects for the organization, which are focused on program evaluations, such as for Double Up Food Bucks and some of our other initiatives. I manage Elizabeth, who runs our social media platforms, and also Michael Green, who coordinates our Good Food NM program. And I also write the newsletters and manage our various websites and do the updates on all that stuff, which is a whole skill set I never imagined, kind of folding into the things I do. One of my favorite things I do for my job, however, is come up with new recipes that are focused on local food, are easy for consumers to make, and end up on our website, and take photos of them. This year I hope to take, just in my own free time, just for fun, some really good food photo classes, which is a whole subject in and of itself. For a fun fact, I collect pre-1950 cookbooks and farming manuals. And at this point, I have about 50 of them, with my oldest being a Bartending Manual from 1896, which I'm pretty proud of. But it's, even though we're all not together at the conference, it's really great to hear and see everyone on video. It's been a tough year, and it's great to see all of you. So thank you.
Now it's Elizabeth.
Yeah, I did send Elizabeth the link, and I know she got it. She and
Oh,
I've
she's
been
here.
She's here.
okay.
But
She's
we
here.
can't hear you, Elizabeth. You're unmuted, but we can't hear you for some reason.
I don't think she's talking yet.
She was.
Oh, was she? Uh-oh.
Yeah.
All right, maybe we can go on to Kirsten and then we can come back to Elizabeth, hopefully once we figure out the tech issue. So Kirsten, if you want to take it away.
Elizabeth, I'll call you.
Yeah, I hope you can join us, Elizabeth, because Elizabeth and I actually haven't even met yet. I'm Kirsten, and I'm one of the new faces up here today. I was hired in December to run the Fresh RX program. And my goal in life is to do less of this and to do more fresh fruits and vegetables for people all around the state who are patients at different health clinics who have some sort of condition that would benefit from eating more healthily. So we're going to send them to your markets with vouchers this growing season, and folks will be able to spend somewhere between $12 and $20 on fresh fruits and vegetables every week. I came to this job from a clinic background, just a short stint at a clinic. So I'm still learning all the farmer side of things, all the farmers market side of things. And I've met a lot of you virtually, and I really thank you all for your patience and for your persistence in helping me get this new program up and running. My favorite thing about the job is also the people, but everybody's been saying that. So lately, my favorite part has been kind of getting some perspective on what's going on all around the country with the programs like Sarah Thompson runs and like my program. They're up and coming. There's a lot going on. There's a lot of really fabulous people out there doing this work. And it's really great that we're all part of that too. And a fun fact about myself, well, I'm sitting up here in Santa Fe, I guess, but a little bit of my heart is still down south in Las Cruces and Mesilla, where I spent a few years in the 90s, and I really miss that part of the state. And it's great to be doing a job that kind of, in a little way, connects me back down there. I'm going to hand it off to Michael Green unless Elizabeth is ready to go. It looks like she's probably not yet. Michael, you want to go for it?
Sure, yeah, I'll take it over from here. Hi, everyone. My name is Michael Green, and I'm the Good Food NM coordinator. I have been in this position for about a year. It'll be a year at the end of April. So it's been an interesting adventure to start a new job in the middle of a pandemic. I haven't even met Denise yet. So we chat every day online and on the phone and stuff like that, but we haven't actually physically met in person. So that's been interesting. Yeah, and I'm happy to be here today. So for those of you who don't know, Good Food NM is a health communications program that promotes good food and healthy eating. So basically, I'll go into this a lot more detail later, but basically it's a text messaging program that we do. And the main focus of it is to promote our local food, local produce. And so we do that through text messaging. And so we have a lot of really cool stuff that we do with the text messaging to share with our customers the hours and locations of the farmers markets, farm stands, CSAs. We also send out a lot of nutrition information, recipes, all kinds of good stuff. So it's actually a really cool program. I'll be talking about it a little more in a commercial on Wednesday, I believe. So you'll hear more about it then. And then I'll be doing a special session on Good Food NM sometime in April. So that way you kind of know what to expect and how we can help you with that in the future. So my favorite thing about my job is, well, there's lots of stuff, but the one that first comes to mind is learning all of the nutrition information. So with the text messages that I send, we do a lot of text messaging with content about different local foods and how they're so healthy for you, for the fruits and vegetables. And so I don't come from a food background. So it's been something that I've been learning in this whole process. So I really like that. And I also really enjoy working with other organizations who are also doing stuff with food and seeing how we can find common ground on that. So that's kind of what I do and like it's up. And so my fun fact about myself is I lived in Spain for in total almost 5 years. So Spain has a special place in my heart, and I got to spend some time in rural Spain and got to see some, older farming techniques in action. And so that was really cool. So yeah, that's a little bit about myself. And like I said, stay tuned for more information about Food NM. So now I'm going to pass it off to Michael Venticinque, who's going to tell us a little bit about it himself.
Thank you, Michael. So my name is Michael Venticinque, and I am the Value Chain Coordinator for the New Mexico Farmers Marketing Association. And a little about my job is, personally, I think I have the best job because under normal conditions, I would be traveling the state, going to farms, working with farmers and everyday needs as with Ashley, the Swiss Army knife, or just really in whatever the farmers need. So that part of it is really great, helping them connect with other sources of sales and different things along those lines. I guess a fun fact or an interesting part of my favorite part of my job is actually, like I mentioned, the farmers, but a fun fact about myself, well, there's a couple. So first off, many of you see the 25 there behind my name. That's because Venticinque means 25 in Italian. So we've had to differentiate between the two Michaels. So I'm Michael 25, however it goes. So, and then the biggest fun fact is on August 3rd, I became a grandfather again to a bouncing baby boy. So that's been a blessing, and just really been very happy to participate in his life. I don't get to see him as often as I like because he lives in Las Vegas, Nevada, which I guess could be another fun fact is where I'm from. So I think that's kind of what I got. And I believe after me is Miss Sarah Thompson. So.
Hi, everybody.
Hey, wait a minute.
What?
G comes way before T.
Oh, sorry.
Sarah, I said I was from Vegas. I know how to count, not spell.
Yeah. You're holding up the rear, Thompson. That's what you get for having a name that ends in T now. But I'm Sarah, and I have been here for longer than anybody else. And many of you know me, and the ones who don't will get to know me because I'm going to be leading the session on new market managers, which is happening one of these days, maybe Thursday. In any event, I do a lot of different things for the organization and think that I more or less, with a few exceptions, have the funnest job. I talk to a lot of market managers about what's going on with their markets. And I talk to a lot of people about how great markets are and how lucky we are to have them. And of course, like all of us, I eat 3 times a day, and I try to make sure that as much as possible, I'm eating locally grown New Mexico fruits and vegetables because they are absolutely, bar none, the healthiest foods that we can eat. So I'm really happy to work for the New Mexico Farmers Marketing Association. I also have the incredible good fortune of writing a lot of checks, and probably the favorite part of my job is writing checks to farmers market managers and to farmers all over the state. Last year, because of the COVID blah, 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 blah relief fund, it is such a mouthful, I wrote over $400,000 worth of checks to both markets and farmers and nonprofits in the state. And that was pretty exciting. I am not fun, so I'm not going to tell you any fun facts. However, I will tell you that theoretically, I'm retiring in September. And one of the fun things about me will be how sticky I am. It's probably going to be very hard for this organization to actually be done with me. And I will make sure to be at next year's conference to give you all hugs.
it is going to be really hard for us to let you go, except that we only want what is best for you. And that will be the only reason that we will consider letting you go. But I imagine that you will be sticking in so many ways all the time. But I'm hoping that we find some, official, whether it's ex officio on the board or special projects. I can't imagine doing my job without having been trained, by Sarah. When I started, and this is just a little diversion, and then I'll let Sarah Thompson speak. But when I started, we were in a small office. We shared an office with some other organizations. We were in a very small office. There was a divider between us, between Sarah and I. And it was hard when we were both on the phone. But I tell you, I learned so much because I could hear everything that Sarah said on the phone to everybody. And she could hear anything I said to everybody on the phone. So that's just a tiny portion of the kinds of things that I have learned from Sarah. I mean, we are going to be hearing your voice. We are all going to be hearing your voice all the time, Sarah. You can, be sure of that. And yeah, it was, we didn't really know what the proper way to do a virtual, and we're not saying goodbye. I don't like the word goodbye, but that's why Sarah will definitely be back next year in person, because doing a virtual sayonara or hasta luego just wouldn't be proper. So, but thank you, Sarah. And yeah, I'm going to leave it at that. Leave it there for now. And now go to Sarah Thompson.
So to follow up, Sarah, I'm not going to know what to do when you're not calling me, asking you what checks I wrote and to who. Anyway, so hi everyone, I'm Sarah Thompson and I'm the Double Up Food Bucks program manager. I'm also working in a team with Kristen for nutrition incentives at the NMFMA. She's great to work with, and I look forward to all of you guys who are working on Fresh Arcs getting to know her. She's pretty great. She's nicer than I am, I think. But anyway, I have been in this position since 2016. July of 2016, I started a new program with a new grant on July 5th. So that happened, but it's been great. And the what my job entails is next, and it's a lot of working with the market managers and training them and giving them advice about what needs to happen with Double Up and EBT. A lot of administrative work. It's really heavy on the admin, but my favorite part about my job is getting to go to the markets and actually see, like, being able to visit with you guys at your markets, because that's always really fun. And the other thing that I enjoy the most and gives me the most personal fulfillment is when I go to you guys' markets and I meet some of the Double Up Food Bucks customers and they express their gratitude at so much that is kind of uncomfortable, but also, while it's kind of strange to have a stranger hug you, I know how good it feels to be able to provide for yourself and your family healthy food. So I get it. It's my favorite part. And fun fact about myself is that I used to be called Sarah Lucero. Now I'm called Sarah Thompson. So in case anyone's confused, it's still me. They didn't hire another Sarah, just changed my last name. And Ashley, did Elizabeth get?
Elizabeth is still having issues, so she was just going to type up a short intro in the chat. But I mean, I don't know a whole lot about what Elizabeth does, but oh, there it is. She says, hi, I'm Elizabeth, the social media manager. I've worked with the NMFMA for 1.5 years, 1.5 years. I'm also a photographer and have enjoyed photographing and meeting farmers this year. I really enjoy the visual marketing of social media.
Yeah, and I think that's really apparent, as I mentioned earlier, for those of you who look at our Facebook page and especially our Instagram. It is a visual treat. Christina did a great job with it before Elizabeth, but Elizabeth has taken it to a new level. So we're really fortunate to have Elizabeth's very talented eye. And I know doing social media wasn't super easy at all times this year and last year, because, sometimes when you really, Elizabeth had to dig into the stories and to everything that's going on. And sometimes it's really tough. It's not all roses. So yeah, I think Elizabeth's done a great job of storytelling as well for the association. So we really appreciate her work. Does anyone have questions for any of the staff? We are officially supposed to end at 2:30, but there isn't anything on the agenda until the happy hour. So we're happy to answer questions and to talk for a little while longer. We just wanted to keep it, short for anyone that needed to take care of other things or didn't want to spend all day on the screens. But we're very happy to take questions, really, for anybody. And Ashley, can people just unmute themselves, right?
Yeah, they're all still panelists right now. So feel free to unmute or raise your hand or write whatever in the chat. And then Michael has also put in our Instagram handle and the happy hour Zoom meeting in the chat as well.
I just have one question, Ashley, which is, this was a forum. And so the forum format is everybody can see each other, as opposed to the panel format when you can only see the panel?
Well, instead of just allowing attendees to talk, we upgraded everybody to a panelist. That way we can all see each other and hear each other and have control over our mute and our video, because I figured for this particular forum, that we would want to see each other for the first time for the conference. So instead of just allowing audio, we allowed both.
Great. Well, that was a cool decision because it is wonderful to see everybody. So thanks everybody for showing up.
In case everyone's curious, here's it's actually 1866, not 1896, my bartending manual. This is the oldest cookbook that I own. And it's great. It's in really good condition and has some wonderful drawings in it and discussion about how to properly serve an adult beverage, which I think is important cultural behavior, but yeah.
I think one of the happy hours should have been you properly instructing us on how to pour a beverage. And I mean, maybe later today in happy hour, you can share that with us, Christina.
Yeah, it's a great book.
So
I'm happy to read anything because I could, this is kind of, I love this stuff. So I'll just stop
you said
talking.
1866 or 1896?
1866.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's old.
Yeah. In 1866, it's my understanding that farmers had their 11s, which was a good shot of corn whiskey, which is one of the things that got them through the end of the day, because there was a lot of corn and there wasn't a lot of freezers. So what did you do with your corn? You turned it into whiskey, and then you drank all day long, and it probably made for some pretty happy and some probably not so happy farmers. But yeah, the 11s. So I want a recipe for the 11s.
I will look for that. It is interesting that one of the first aspects of one of the first entries is how to make money. That's what it's called.
Okay, I'm checking out. See everybody at 5.
Yeah, so thank you all for joining us this afternoon. We will look forward to seeing you for happy hour, whatever that might mean in our virtual world. But thanks for joining us today, and we'll see you We'll see you soon.